It's the Talk with me, Kimodo HSC, your favorite political insights center. And today I want us to indulge in the matters that have been around the country about the impeachment of the Deputy President, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, and what has transpired and how far we've come through this impeachment. It's been 2 weeks, a lot more than 2 weeks when you take on the National Assembly part. We just concluded the Senate, which approved the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. And now the court gave Rigathi Gachagua the benefit to breathe and hold any further operations since the announcement of the impeachment by the Senate. It did halt the actualization of the resolution that was made at Senate by the Senate Speaker. You all know what has been going through, and we've seen tremendous drive to their work, to the work that the legislators do. We've seen them move with speed, something we've never seen again. I don't think we've seen such hastiness through the corridors of Parliament for the both houses. And what were they rushing to do? To impeach an individual who doesn't hold public funds, that in a case that he goes, that the public funds will be left free for use. Hastiness to impeach someone that even if he goes or he stays, nothing changes in the higher education's funding model, or in the share and shift. As much it may be good, the implementation is purely on the lowest. It is very unfortunate that we are experiencing this hastiness on matters that won't bring food on the table for the common mwananchi and won't elevate the lives of the common mwananchi, or what we call wanjiku. It is very unfortunate. I wish that the same hastiness we put in impeaching the Deputy President is the same hastiness that was accorded in moving around the Adani deals, in moving around with the higher education's funding model, in moving around social health assurance, in making sure that we settle what the demands of the Gen Z, and which were very positive, which were very attainable, and which were for the common mwananchi and for every Kenyan in this country to enjoy and to appreciate what the government may be doing. We put a government in place not to work for themselves, but to work for the people. It is very unfortunate that they are working for themselves. Sometimes we realize that by the time they are getting done with their terms in office, probably we might be having a very different constitution to what was promulgated in 2010, because they have a drive to completely mutilate this constitution. And I just hope that the judiciary won't fall into the trap to set a precedence very low for future references, because we all know that how we shall drive this this impeachment motion, and how we've done up to the point we are in will be a reference for future cases. And if stamped that is the way to go, we will never be able to change unless we acquit, unless we reverse whatever would have done to Gachagua. If it is about impeachment, then we'll have to compensate Gachagua or by not giving him a fair hearing. If not that, then we will have to move with the same pace that they moved with. We realize that they have set a pace that for them in future or any other parliament to impeach the president or the deputy president, it may only take 1 month. The writers of the Constitution didn't see it that way. They saw it as a way to give the people the right to be heard, and the legislators to give their opinions by how their people feel or by how their people see things as. But unfortunately, we have a parliament, and it has been confirmed for both of them that we have a parliament which has been captured by the executive, that which has been captured by State House, a parliament that operates in State House as brains, and whatever comes in parliament is just the body, the physical body, but everything else is left in State House. We've all seen that every move that has happened in the National Assembly and Senate was predetermined, that they had no space to reason, change, focus, or give a fair hearing to the person of deputy president, or just to give a fair hearing to the deputy president's office. If in any case they had an issue with the person of the deputy president, they should have given him a chance to defend the office of deputy president as the office, not as an office holder. We've all seen, every Kenyan has seen that whatever was brought forward was very flimsy on the side of the National Assembly. It lacked any sensible thing to make them impeach the man, Rigathi Gachagua. It is very unfortunate that we have got to this extent. As a country, as an arm of government that a lot of people have faith in, Senate was a place where a lot of Kenyans had hope with, that they would reason through the evidence, that they would reason beyond predetermined way or assurances that they had, that they would reason completely away from National Assembly and with the people. You realize that on the eve when they were to impeach deputy president, a few crucial bills lacked quorum just because some senators had rushed, and we're very sure that money exchanged hands. It is unfortunate, it is alleged that money exchanged hands. It is unfortunate that we lacked quorum on very crucial bills. And some of the bills that were there on that day were cancer prevention and control bill. That cancer is not as important as impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. What do you want to tell us? That in impeaching Rigathi Gachagua, you will resolve the cancer issues. Another bill that was on that day was the Public Finance Bill Management 2023. You realize that in a crisis that the 2023 finance bill was annulled, and also 2024 finance bill was withdrawn. In simple terms, we should be working with the 2022 finance bill that was left behind by His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Another bill that was on that day was Fire and Rescue Services Bill. And another one was consolidation of bursary funds for equitable access to education. For them, education is not important. And we have seen how they have moved around the higher education's funding model. They've uttered little to no utterances into the higher education's funding model. Another bill, and those were the bills for the day, but they chose to give all their effort to one issue, which was to impeach the deputy president. It is very unfortunate that we have got into this stage. But then we have come to realize that all the hastiness was try to hide behind time so that no court would interfere and there would be no room to file cases or file injunctions between that period. But they forgot that until the Chief Justice swears you in, you remain not to hold office. And until Saturday morning, they were still pushing that the swearing in ceremony was on. What a heartless kind of government. That even with what we saw, regarding being taken ill, they cared less about that. They wanted to do away with the man. Even if he was dead, it seems it would have been good for them, good for business, so that they can continue to take a toll on us. It is very unfortunate that we've got into this place. When we talk about Rigathi Gachagua, I've always said once and again that in the person of Rigathi Gachagua, if he would have found a place to vie for election as the deputy president, as it stands, personally, I've always said this, that I wouldn't vote for him for various reasons. We all know that Rigathi Gachagua was not ready. Rigathi Gachagua was not groomed for higher offices. It came as a surprise. But then hats off to him that he has gone to this far, putting on a fight. He might have failed in some things, but we all know the test that he was put through, no member of parliament would pass the test. Hats off to him that he allowed all his wealth to be announced into the public. Can we do the same for the president? Can we do the same for the members of parliament? A member of parliament has been in office for only one term, not yet even done with first term. He's already acquired so much. These guys are driving G-Wagons all around. Go to the cabinet secretaries. When they were vetted, they seemed to have made profit of beyond 100 million in 2 years. Watu wanalia huko nje, biashara ni mbaya. And others prohibited by law to pursue some businesses or some engagements are having an easy time making profits of more than 100 million. When someone asked, tunataka kujua hizi biashara ni gani hata sisi tufanye. Hizi biashara ziko na pesa namna hii. When you are a people's servant, you should focus on serving the people. And that's why we are saying that both houses should be left to do the work of legislation, so that we stop the conflict of interest, so that they put their focus in serving the people, the same way they focused on the impeachment motion. I would love to see the MPs Monday to Friday focusing on bills that could take a month, they should take a week. We have been treated to a situation where probably the bills that are being discussed during the normal days, maybe even they don't exist. They're just bills to pass time, bills to make sure that hiyo mwezi wameingiza mshahara. Maybe these people we see engaging in bills in parliament, maybe they are paid to stand in for others. Wewe leo enda utusimamie, wewe kesho. Probably maybe they have a timetable. Wewe uko available lini, wewe hukuangi na shughuli mingi. Probably those bills, because we never see them in the day of light, the day of light. We never see them in actualization. We just hear bills, first reading, second reading, all this, but we rarely see them into the works. Yet they are being paid for that. Even worse is for them to work extra hard. They will have to be paid to sit on committees. They have sitting allowances on a time when they should be engaging in the same bills in parliament. But they want, on top of what we pay them, we also pay them sitting allowance to just find as a way to soothe them, to find time to come and discuss people's issues. It is hats off to Gachagua that he's allowed us to stretch the constitution. And that's why they kept pushing for him to resign, so that they can stop at a point that they should not be able to stretch the constitution more. Now we've stretched the constitution on every occurrence, and we won't repeat. We will serve the same the next incident with the same urgency we've dealt with the Gachagua. Will we be okay then? We've set the law so low for dealing with such a scenario in future. It is hats off to Gachagua that even now he's taken the matter to court. to stretch it further. If they seal this impeachment, it is the same way we shall serve an impeachment of the president. And don't forget, we're not sure that Raila Odinga will win the AUC bid. Will he be happy to have failed in his bid? How will he come back in the political arena? He might take his troops, and the troops that have felt aggrieved, and win more sympathy from the currents of Gachagua, and maybe even support Kalonzo Musyoka, or even impeach the president with the same hastiness that has been served to the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua. As per now, you might not like it. A lot of people might not like it. But like as we have seen it, on the moment when Rigathi and Ruto won the election, Uhuru didn't cease to be the president, but they were president and deputy president elect. We still had a president in place. You still had a deputy president in place who was now a president elect. So as it stands, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is the holder of office. They might do all manner of things, but as per the constitution, Rigathi is the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. In future, however this stands, Rigathi Gachagua should consider being a kingmaker. One reason why I keep insisting that I wouldn't vote for Rigathi Gachagua, it is the same thing that has ailed us through William Ruto. William Ruto brought us on a course of where he showed us that he would not join forces with those people who oppressed us in the past regime, the likes of Raila, the likes of ODM. But what has happened? It has been all a game all along. Just clinch power, go to your former enemies, make them your friends, make them your closer friends, and Kenyans will do nothing about it. The same case happens to Rigathi Gachagua. Probably if you were to give him the presidency, he wouldn't mind bringing back people who have made us or made the country go through these hardships into his government, whereas we have more than 45 million Kenyans to do the same job that he wants to bring people to do. You say they have no experience, but where will they get the experience if you don't involve them now? They won't have experience even if they are older. They need to be brought in to gain the experience that you need. And there is something else that came up through this impeachment process, and it is about coalition governments. We've seen that coalition governments, coalition agreements are not there to serve us. They are just tools to garner votes. Because if coalition agreements do not supersede the constitution, then why do coalition governments take effect? Then it means all coalition agreements should be null and void. You can imagine a region that was promised 30% or maybe 20%. Why were they promised 30%? You give us your votes, and in return, we give you 30% of development. How is that equality to the people of the nation? The people voted because of that. They did not vote because you told them they will be equal with the others. It is because you told them they will get a higher share than their counterparts. It is high time that Kenyans realize that coalition governments do not come to help them. They come to steal their votes. They come to corrupt their minds. They come to garner money, a space on the table for the top tumbocrats to share. For the top tumbocrats to have a place to air their hungry nature and how hungry they are. And we know that Rigathi didn't have the best of the outlook to the Kenyan people. Rigathi was not picked by Deputy President Ruto because he knew how to unite everyone. He was brought in because of his influence and money. And it is that money that they are after, so that someone else won't take advantage, get the support of Rigathi Gachagua, and become president or become something else. And the best way to stop that is impeach him and block him from ever running for office. Can you imagine that the same members of parliament that were voting to impeach the deputy president are the same members of parliament that were responsible of public speaking, public participation? Very funny. That the same hyena that ate the goats is the same hyena that is being given the responsibility to make sure that the goats don't eat into the neighbor's farm. That said, they rushed to approve the name of Kindiki Kithure. How I wish that Kindiki Kithure would have rejected the offer and stayed as Cabinet Secretary for Interior. The Constitution is very clear, but anything in this country can change, anything can happen, but it is clear on that. For you to hold an elective office, you have to be a member of a political party 3 months prior to that nomination. That in place of an independent person or candidate, you have to have the support of such a portion of the constituents or from the people. When did that happen? On Saturday. It could not have happened before. It should have happened after the confirmation of impeachment by the Speaker of the Senate. If the courts will be fair enough, they should nullify the being of the nomination of Kithure Kindiki and get them back to the drawing board. And let us see what they do with that. I don't want to dwell much on that, as the case will be heard on 22nd Tuesday, today, in courts, and we'll know the way forward. However it goes, regarding staying or going will not bring money in the pockets of the people. It won't sort the roads menace in this country. It will make the higher education funding model better. It won't stop the corruption in government. In any case, corruption will rise and steal from people's pockets. The housing levy or the 2023 finance bill won't stop being an illegal thing just because Rigathi has gone. The only person who will get rich is the person who voted yes to impeach Gachagua, because he was bought. Money exchanged hands. It is high time as the people realize that we are alone and we have to fight on our own without the over-reliance in the political class. I want to leave it at that. See you next time. You can follow me on Facebook as Kimotho HSC, on Twitter or X, Kimotho HSC, or son of Metumi with a double I at the end. And we can continue this conversation or conversations as we share insights of what's happening in the political arena. Thank you and see you next time. God bless you.